This is what Sharat Krishna used to call me and he said, Amit, today I'm going to disturb you every half an hour. I need these updates. He's done a lot. These guys have done a lot to get this to you. You've got to make use of it. Be aware that for a few seconds and your entire direction has changed without even realizing it. So hopefully with that, you will take this awareness and you will make sure your direction doesn't change. Thank you so much.
Adding to Amit's word, when we take an interview, you know how many kind of skills or tools are there in the market? Can you answer everyone please? Number of tools in the market currently used. Anyone? 16,000. Imagine 16,000 kind of tools are there in the market in the software industry. And anytime when we take an interview, we'll have a very pattern, seriously. Sometimes there's a Ruby on Rails. With a Ruby on Rails, someone will say a native. What is this native? It is not a native house. That's a native tool. Guys, this is time when you're in the college, as Amit said, you can go back to your professors and ask them. This is the time where you can do the mistake and learn from them because they are trained and they know very well. There are lots of such kind of a situation and they are ready to tell you what's happening in the market. I'm sure all your professors will know that and they will love to listen from you to going to the desk and asking them what is this tool about. Thanks a lot, Panjabi. Amit. It's our honor. I would like to Ramesh to come on the stage, please. You can, I believe again I'm just repeating, you guys are using a facebook.com/Bangalore Padmanabhanagar. You can find, and you can comment all the 3 speakers and like whatever it is there. You will get a chance to get a reply from them. Shrinidhi. I'm just love to listen few words from our youngest CEO. Might be in his age, you know, most of the guys will be behind the bikes or behind whatever. I don't want to say that further. But he's the person who's achieved a lot and he's known as one of the youngest CEO in the country. School of Eureka. Let me just welcome Shrinidhi, please. He gave me a shot. I'm just thinking, what is this? What is this guy doing here? Then I had another call. I had to take up the call. It took about 40 minutes. By the time of 40 minutes, it is in, by the way, it is in Whitefield, innovative building. He went to the next office. He bought the project. He was ready. And I just asked him, what can you do? Why should we hire you? He said, can you think of a person going to a neighbor office and getting a project? And the same customer was there for the last 10 years. He didn't have a chance to go and meet him up and get the project. He's roaming around US, UK and all the things for the clients. The next day the cab journey client is sitting next to him. He didn't even thought about it. And that guy was away because it is not about the presence of mind he was there. The inspiration. And you know what? He traveled across the border, across the globe, sorry. And whenever I just call him up, sorry, I'm in US, I'm in UK, I'm in other countries. Anyways, my time has come. Let me just introduce.
So he told me that he forgot my profile, which is actually a good thing because usually you only write glorified stuff about yourself and that's right on the stage, and you need to have this, oh, that's great moment for yourself, which is very which is very ego boosting. So I don't really like it. So thank you for forgetting it. So how many of you would have not been here if attendance was not being taken? Sorry, would have been here if attendance was not being taken. Really? Okay, that's nice. How many of you would have not been here if attendance was not taken? Okay. Come on, no professors are seeing you. I'm the only one seeing you. Okay, so this is a very decent crowd. So the college must be really happy because usually whenever I ask this question, most of the crowd goes berserk and they want to just run away from the hall. I know the feeling. Just a year ago, I was in the campus and with a much non-decent crowd. And usually it used to be like the teacher used to promise at the end, you know, I'll leave you, I'll leave you, I'll leave you, I'll leave you. And the bell rings and after that she takes 5 more minutes of class. So this has been happening. So I hope to not do that with all of you and have a quite an interactive session. So can we have a mic? Do we have a mic that I can pass along? Okay, so some volunteer who can pass it around. Okay, which departments? Shout out when I say the department name so that I can get to know which is the most vibrant department on campus. Okay, already, Royal. Okay. Mechanical, computer science, information science, biotechnology. Okay, that sounds like music. Electrical. Music, now it is noise, right? Yeah. So biotechnology was at least music. Great. Instrumentation. Information science, I guess I told that. IS. IT. Okay. EC. Civil. Industrial production. IP. I guess there is some technology. Is it there? Okay. So did I leave any out? Yeah? Okay, shout out. Shout your department name. Alright. Telecom. Alright. So I guess electrical made maximum noise depending on makes sense as well. And everybody else is equally enthused. Alright. Okay, there's some. Fine. So the reason I asked you that is because I wanted to know how many of you are placed now. Nobody. Oh, placement drive hasn't started. Oh, okay, great. So this session is useful for all of you. Because I was supposed to speak about what next after engineering. So I was just trying to get a vibe about the hall. So what are the options that each one of you is considering after engineering? Shout out. MS abroad, MS in India. Abroad, after Trump. Alright, let's see if there's any hope. India? Yeah, I can't hear. Can you just pass the mic along so that people can answer? Okay, shout out loud. MBA. Then? BSc. Alright. Then? Entrepreneur. Amazing. Okay. Then? Yeah. Masters in architecture. Oh, so do we have architecture as well? No noise. Okay, after civil. Alright. I'm not a sir. Please don't call me sir. Okay. Yeah. Then? UPSC, great civil services. Okay. Then? Can't hear. Shout out loud. BA. Are you guys trying to pull my leg? I'm already long enough. Yeah. Can't hear. Okay, fine. So all of these options are there in front of you. Which is the option that you would want to choose and why? Two of you, could you answer? Hey, two of you. Pick up a mic nearby you and speak. There are two guys helping out. You can borrow a mic and tell me which career option you want after engineering. And by the way, nobody told me placements. Isn't that the reason why you're here? Like, placement cell is organizing the event as well. So that's the thing, most of you would eventually end up going anyway, right? Even if you wanted to play a guitar or something, you'd still end up becoming some software engineer in Infosys. To not do that is what this session is about, so you'll get there. So two of you, your career choices and why after engineering. Nobody is interested. I don't want to cold call, green guy, blue guy. Anybody just pick up the mic and tell me what do you want to do after engineering? Okay, so I'll have to cold call. Okay, yeah, blue guy. MBA, why?
Because in engineering we are learning technical skills.
So you want to complement it with management skills?
Skills also.
Become an entrepreneur. All right. Anybody ask you, how many of you had stage fright? I think most of you raised your hands, right? So can you raise it again? How many of you have stage fright? Far less hands. Okay, most of you. I have gone to toilet more than 7 times since I came here. So it's like, I am sweating more than all of you are because this is my largest crowd. I have gone and spoken across the country. I have spoken in front of ministers. I have spoken in front of really big guys. But when Ajit's session was happening, the way the hooting was happening, I kind of really got stressed out. Now that I've told it to you, I've overcome it. So that's a lesson there itself, I guess, that you need to face your difficulties and overcome it. So if you guys are not willing to pick up a mic and then tell me what you are passionate about or what you want to do after engineering, look at my plight now, having to speak to, I think, over 1,000 people, and I can't even see you guys' faces now. Somebody else. If that doesn't inspire you, you know what will. Okay, there's one girl here.
Can you pass on the mic?
Yeah.
Actually, after shrinidhi, I'm planning to do masters in architecture. I'm not clear about, I wanted to get into design, but my dad didn't allow me. He said, get into engineering, it's got better scope, and then after you can move to architecture if you wish to. So let's see if I get into masters in architecture anywhere abroad, so I'll get into that.
Alright. So these are the way, take the job, get your work experience. But before that, think for a second, all the previous speakers were speaking to you about something called as passion. Right? Most of us struggle with figuring our own passion. How many of you know our own passion? What we want to do? Okay, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. One of you, can you tell me what your passion is and how you figured it? Anyone?
And the problem is I didn't realize this when I was small, like when I was in 10th standard, I used to play a lot of competitive games and I wanted to become an automobile engineer. And then I think around when I was in 2nd sem or when I was in 3rd sem, then I realized that, this is not what I was supposed to do. I like talking, I like, expressing things to others. And my real intention is to join like a television show like National Geography or National People, Fox Life. Yeah, that's what I want to do.
And you're doing a very good job speaking.
Actually,
you are, of course you are. Very good job. You would have run away because mine was the last session and it's really difficult, right? However good you are also after 3 sessions, it's really difficult to handle. So please clap for yourself. Passion. So the thing is, most of us as kids, right, you would have had something that we were passionate about. For example, for me, right, the most passionate thing was that I wanted to have a beer garden. At the end of the road, there was this guy who used to make really good chaat, and I thought I wanted to make that, right? It could be as simple as that, but that itself can motivate you in order to probably open up a food chain later. Therefore, it's really important for you to figure your own passion and work on it. Now for that, most people would say, hey, my parents are pressuring me, hey, I have to take up this job because I've got family responsibilities, hey, I have to do this because I have to do that because like Ajit was telling, you've got so many buts, right? So it's really difficult in order to handle all of this. For this, I have a very inspiring story to share. If you're preparing for GATE, you would have heard of Ravindra Babu Rawala. If you're sales guys, you would have heard him. Have you heard of him? Okay, great. So he has this very interesting story to share about how he became passionate in teaching. Before that, how he ended up cracking GATE. He came from a really, really poor family and he was not able to even sustain his family with it because his father had taken loans and sent him to study in a college. At the end of it, he got a job in a service-oriented company, an Infosys or a TCS or any of these companies that most of you, unfortunately, would get hired in, which is going to pay you 20k, 25k. They used to pay around 30k 10 years ago. Adjusting to inflation, it should have been around 60k. They're paying almost 1/3 of it. So the salaries have gone down. He says he heard of this story where a friend of his friend's brother ended up getting a package of something like 2 crores or something per year from IIT Bombay. He hadn't, trust me this, he hadn't even heard of the course of computer science in IIT Bombay, even though being in final year of a small college in Andhra Pradesh. As soon as he heard that, he thought, alright, I'm going to crack this. He went ahead, prepared for an entire year, cracked the exam and called his father, telling that I've got a rank of 80, I'll be getting a seat in IIT Bombay to pursue my master's in computer science. His father didn't have a clue about what IIT was. Like most parents who don't know about this, he confused it to an ITI. Right? If you say you're preparing for IIT, generally they say IIT is Mumbai to Jammu. Right? So he didn't even know what IIT was, what studying there meant. But he said, if you're calling me at the middle of the night and telling me this, it should be really big. And he said, yes, it's really big. I'll be getting a package of something to the tune of 2 to 2.5 crores at the end of this 2-year course. And his father started crying. And he cried for half an hour. And he says, if this is not worth it, giving that kind of joy to your parents, what else is? His father was also working, he was working for himself and sending money to him. He could hold on for 20 years, 21 years until this guy graduated. He could hold on for another 2 years as well. Unless it's a very sad scenario at home, it's really worth it to put the kind of effort that is required in any career that you want to do and choose it up wisely and not take up some campus job that comes your way because that's your very first job. Like Amit was rightly telling, the first few years of your career, in your early 20s, what you do sets trend for the majority of your later career. Therefore, it is really important for you to choose which path do you want to take now. Right? Somebody was telling me masters in America is really costly. Masters is supposed to be the cash cow of universities because most foreign exchange students go there to do masters. So better opportunity for you would be in Europe. The Mecca is Europe, you already know, it's really good and you get scholarships, and in countries like Netherlands, the really socialist countries, it's absolutely free. So as simple as choosing which country to go to your masters, to which kind of masters do you want to choose now? Let's say you want to choose to do a PhD. I have my colleague here who was doing a PhD in one of India's most premier institutes, and his research paper was published in the Royal Society of London publications. He left it to join a startup. The reason is he was borderline suicidal. He had literally gone to the Himalayas to meet Mahatar Babaji from the autobiography of a yogi to run away from all of this. So PhDs in your early 20s is a really huge commitment for you to make. It's something like 6 years or 7 years in your 20s when you should either have fun or make a lot of money, or doing both, making money as well as having fun, doing something you're passionate about. Because in 20s, you don't have any responsibilities. If you're thinking sending some money home is a responsibility, think of running your own home. Think of having kids whose diapers are going to cost more than what your entire day pocket money is right now. It's really difficult to make a career for yourself after 30s. 20s is the age in which you have maximum adrenaline, maximum stupidity, maximum risk-taking ability. If you're afraid about risks in your 20s, you'll never be risk-free later, right? You'll be married, you'll have kids, you'll have to put kids into the same shitty process that you went through and screw their lives as well, right? J.K. Rowling in her commencement speech at Stanford says that if you've lived your life so carefully that you've not failed, you've not done a mistake at all, it's as though you've not lived your life at all. Therefore, it is really worth it to take those risks and do what you're passionate about. Alright. So, either you're going to do your masters But if you're going to do your masters, I'd really recommend you to do it in Europe and not in America. Because America, if you're going to convert it into a PhD as well, those PhDs will not attract a stipend. Because in Europe, you get a stipend which is to the tune of at least 2 to 3 lakhs a month to study. Almost all PhDs there give you at least 2 to 3 lakhs a month. Whereas in America, it's not considered a job like it is considered in Europe. Therefore, you're not going to get much stipend. You get some stipend, but you'll have fees to do as well. Therefore, though America seems like a very glamorous thing to choose, I'd really suggest that you take the other thing. Placements. Placements, it's very tempting for you to go to a job that will give you the highest package. Great. But let's say you end up as a tester in a software company. Most of you mech guys, if you end up in an Infosys, later on to go back into your Toyota, Mercedes will be really hard. Even if you are from computer science, information science background, you end up as a tester because I'm sure most companies that come to campuses nowadays, non-IIT campuses and non-NIT campuses, even here I'm sure a lot of good companies come, but the vast majority get placed as testers, the vast majority get placed as debuggers and things like that. Once you get into a testing role, you can never go back to mainstream developing role. So if you've got an app idea, forget it. If you've got a web development idea, forget it. If you want to build on Arduino, electronics, forget it. If you want to build a chip manufacturing company, forget it. So it's really important for you to choose in the beginning which career choice you want to make, even within placements. So therefore, even if it's 5K, 10K a month lesser, please go to a career in which you will have advancement opportunities later, be it managerial roles or otherwise. Nextly, when it comes to your resume, please ensure that you do not have a lot of things written on the resume. I don't know, most of you may not have a lot of things, but if you do, don't put all of them. A resume should not cross a single page. Very, very important. And ensure that you have